Of course, we are not only here to learn how not to block a kick. We are here to fix the problem and the issue at hand so that we can evolve and get better from the mistakes of others. The fighter attempts to cushion the blow with his opposite arm, using the palm of his opposite hand to cushion some of the power that's going through his forearm. However, you can see the Thai is pulling his shoulder back really far, making it really difficult for the opponent to catch the kick as well as return with any punches. The appropriate response by the foreign fighter would be to lean back. He eats yet another kick before actually doing so. Mixing up your defense is just as important as mixing up your offensive weapons to keep your opponent guessing. If you're setting a pattern defensively by only using your opposite hand to block the kick, and he knows that you won't be able to catch it or misdirect it, this may be the result that you can't expect. So right there, I'm trying to set up something to see how he likes to defend the kick, which is catching it. So right there you see he tries to catch it and I pull it back. He tries to return, but I'm gauging my distance already.
So even if you catch, it still causes pain, right? I still score a point, especially if I pull back, if I turn my hip in enough. And then same thing if you check, right? So you're checking here. That's good if I'm aiming here.
Here I'm showing him that there are multiple ways of defending the kick. If you're checking and I'm aiming for your upper arm, I still land it. The check is great if I'm aiming for your lower ribs or the middle of your rib cage, but once I'm going for that arm, I'm still gonna catch it. If you're a power puncher, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be stepping in, I'm going to be smashing that arm to make sure you're not throwing it at me. And you can't save yourself with a check, so what becomes really important is to lean back. Here are the different ways you can defend the kick: is catching, stepping back, catching, cross check, check, and definitely the lean back, which is what we're going to be going over now. So I tell him to find his range with the jab, that way he can gauge his distance, and then that way I can throw the kick. But you want to step back with the rear leg. As you can see right there, it's a spring. You drop your front hand to clear it, because if your opponent throws a kick and it still hits your hand, that's pain in your hand, but they can also snap the kick back, they regain their balance. You got to clear it out of the way. There he gets a much nicer lean back by just stepping back and bending. So you want to keep your core engaged, or else you engage into your lower back, which could also be an issue. Telling him to tuck his chin, because if he pulls his chin back too far, then he's going to be off balance. You snap back much faster if your chin is tucked, plus it's behind your shoulder to protect yourself. So here I'm staying in the orthodox stance to throw at Evan, as that's the situation that he will be in for the majority of the time. It's just the probability of always going against an orthodox fighter is much higher than a southpaw fighter. His techniques that he already knows are something that he can drill on the same side opponent, but against the southpaw there are specific tactics that you want to use, so we're trying to go over those kind of counters. So there is one option, is rocking the hook in. Your opponent is blinded because they're turned. They're looking over their right shoulder. Evan's looking over his right shoulder, so he's looking for that cross to come. But I'm actually lifting up and throwing that hook straight from my hip. I'm using it as one motion. So as the leg snaps back and I snap back in, that's where the hook is going to come in.